Welcome back to the show. You may know Josh Stewart as the Big 12's leading returning receiver. What you may not know is what it took for him to get here to Stillwater. His journey was filled with tragedy, obstacles, and a lot of determination. Here's his inspirational story.
Wide open, middle of the field, Josh Stewart, touchdown Oklahoma State.
It still gives me chills talking about it. I knew when he scored, I was on the ground. I was like, I gotta go get there. I gotta get there and meet him in the end zone.
Oh man,
it was special.
They've been waiting a long time to be able to hug like that.
It was special. I mean, it was just different. I watched a couple of videos on it, and you can only imagine how we felt.
J.W. Walsh had thrown touchdown passes to Josh Stewart many times before and will many times after, but this one will stand out among them all.
I'm a pretty calm guy in the stands. I mean, real calm. I don't get too excited and I don't get too upset. And when he threw that ball to him, I found myself in the aisle, jumping up and down like those crazy fans I make fun of. So it was pretty special.
John Walsh knew just how special it was for these two best friends to connect for the first time in their Oklahoma State careers. Walsh is JW's dad and coached both at Geyer High School in Denton, Texas. That 33-yard touchdown strike against Louisiana was a dream many years in the making.
You know, I realized that he was my best target, and I'm gonna have to, fix what we had and make sure that, we're on the same page. And from that first tournament on, it was, the rest is history.
Middle of the field again, touchdown, Josh Stewart.
You think those two guys threw the ball around in the backyard in Denton, Texas growing up? They sure look like they've got great chemistry.
Best friends they have not always been. In fact, JW and Josh got off to a rough start thanks to some rough play in a basketball game in middle school.
It felt like he was fouling to me, and the ref wasn't calling it. So I was getting mad.
He did the trash talking. I was D'ing him up. He couldn't score. It was making him mad.
Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed in that 8th grade gymnasium. And once they joined forces on the football field, that intensely competitive relationship became much friendlier. In fact, Josh became like family.
They accepted me in the first day they met me, so kind of got comfortable with Coach Walsh, and from then on, he kind of taught me the way.
I think the influence I had on him is just like JW, just to work hard, and then just to think big, man. Just think, if you want it, go get it.
He made me see the bigger picture and saw like that with my story, I couldn't be the complete opposite of what I am today, like just not doing nothing with my life, and he wanted me to kind of make an impact on people.
Josh's story has many chapters, and one almost included a stop in College Station. But after committing to A&M, the Cowboys came calling.
Coach Holgerson had called me and asked me, would you like to throw the ball to Josh on Saturdays? And I said absolutely, Coach. And, if you got a spot for him, that'd be really special, and I'd love that.
Obviously, I was committed to A&M, but nobody would take down the offer to go into college. With your best friend, he played quarterback, and you're gonna be playing receiver, so nobody's gonna miss out on that option.
At 5'10" and 165 pounds, John Walsh said Josh was pound for pound the best high school football player in any classification in the state of Texas. The coach also knew what many did not, that his wide receiver's strength did not come from any weight room, and that his toughness was on a completely different scale.
When I look at him, I'm looking at her.
Valerie Stuart is Josh's maternal grandmother. She and her husband Charles raised Josh after what we now know to be the first of several tragic events in his young life.
I think it was St. Patrick's Day. Mom was coming from church, and me and my cousin Caprice Martinez was supposed to be in that car, but like we was little babies, and you know how it is when you get around a whole bunch of people and you got family, they want to take the babies and say, we all going to the same place. So one of my aunts took my cousin and one of my other aunts took me.
So we was about maybe 5 or 6 cars behind them, and the traffic started backing up. And I said, well, something must be done happen up here, not knowing that it was my child.
Valerie's daughter, Josh's mom, and his older brother were both killed in that car accident. Josh was just 6 months old and only knows them in pictures.
I told him he had a beautiful mom, and she was loving and kind.
Life, though, has not been kind. At the age of 5, Josh also lost his father, and also in an unthinkable way, an accidental shooting at the hands of his paternal grandfather.
Josh was there, and he remembers everything because when he came home, he told me everything that happened, how it was.
Those are memories that will never fade, memories a 5-year-old should never have. But Josh says those same memories motivate him every day.
It's tough, but things like that, it's just like one of those things that you gotta have a drive to do big things for, because it's like, I know for sure my parents are happy for how far I made it and how far I plan on going. So, I mean, I don't want to use it as something for people to feel sorry for me, because I feel like God has a bigger plan, and I'll see him again one day. So,
with everyone in his immediate family gone, Josh found solace in the arms and home of his grandparents.
They're so special. I mean, words can't describe how they make me feel.
Josh says his grandma has taught him to be humble, hardworking, and to have faith. But that faith would be tested yet again in August 2005. This time, Hurricane Katrina was to blame, as that devastating storm left their home just outside New Orleans underwater.
They put it on TV, and I saw the whole city was underwater. Basically, my whole family was on phones, like talking to people, making sure everybody was all right. And I never forget that day in the hotel. We was just like, we didn't know what we was gonna do. It was like confusion.
And he said, "Auntie, it's nothing to come back home to." I said, "What?" You know, and he said, "The water is like to your second floor."
With no home to return to, the Stewarts, who had fled to North Texas, decided to put down roots in Denton. Josh turned to sports as a respite from reality. Years later, and in the comfort of his second family, the Walshes, Josh opened up about his painful past.
I was in shock. I had no idea. I knew he had come over from Katrina, but I had no idea, you know, the rest of it. And when he told me, I was just like, wow. And just for him to even, when he told me that, for him to be even playing high school football and being successful at that was just, you know, it's just amazing to be able to see him still succeed.
You know, I didn't really know the whole truth about it until I caught wind of it. And then one day, JW in high school gave me the whole story detail through detail, and extremely heartbroken, but then proud of him, because he's done nothing but get better in every aspect of his life.
Walsh underneath. Stewart with the catch, breaks a tackle. Josh Stewart, touchdown, Cowboys.
If you add up everything that's happened to Josh Stewart in his life, and to see where he's at, you know, leading the football team in the Big 12.
Stewart breaking in, he'll score!
He's very competitive, and he's really physical and tough-natured mentally, and he can handle a lot. He plays through pain, and I'm sure his background plays a factor in that.
I mean, everything is team first, class act, well-spoken, extremely proud.
Now, after a breakout sophomore year at Oklahoma State, Josh returns as the Big 12's leading receiver, and with such a bright future, in spite of a difficult and dark past.
He could have easily been in the car too, you know, but for whatever reason, God spared him for, I thank him, you know, I really do.
I just kind of looked back on it, I was like, wow, like, somebody's working miracles upstairs, so it's a good journey, and I'm still not done.